Nigerians on the 4th of October 2022 joined the rest of the world to celebrate World Animal Day. In this episode of the program Transforming Agriculture in Nigeria, we shall be discussing the significance of the day in relation to the opportunities available in animal husbandry in Nigeria. The episode will surely be an eye-opener. But before then, we shall bring you news of developments in the Federal Ministry of Agriculture and Rural Development. I am Gabriel Ojile, your regular guide.
That will provide the necessary policy direction that will truly position agriculture as the mainstay of our economy.
The federal government is removing obstacles and offering opportunities for self-employment, wealth creation, and food security in the Nigeria's agricultural sector.
Think farming, think agriculture.
Watch Transforming Agriculture in Nigeria, showing on NTA Fridays at 8:30 p.m.
In our diary tonight, Ministry of Agriculture and Rural Development validates dashboards to enhance budget performance, just as the ministry trains over 300 people living with disabilities on climate change mitigation. Details of this will come your way shortly. In an effort to ensure transparency and performance of budget of the Federal Ministry of Agriculture and Rural Development, the ministry recently validated a fiscal performance dashboard in Abuja. The fiscal performance dashboard was developed by Budget Nigeria and facilitated by the Alliance for Green Revolution in Africa, AGRA. Speaking at the occasion, the representative of AGRA, Thomas Arokoyo, stated that AGRA supported the project in order to improve fiscal performance reportage in the implementation of the budget of the Federal Ministry of Agriculture and Rural Development, as this will help the ministry get more budget allocation in line with Malabo Declaration.
It was observed from the Ministry of Budget and National Planning that the reporting of our fund utilization and requests for replenishment from the Ministry of Agriculture has not been too impressive. So that spurred AGRA early last year to support the fiscal space analysis workshop. And as a follow-on, this capacity building for staff across the ministry and related agencies.
Also speaking at the occasion, the country director, Budget Nigeria, Gabriel Okeo, stated that the fiscal performance dashboard developed for the ministry will set the pace for other ministries and agencies of government in fiscal policy, transparency, and accountability.
We have built a portal, right? And that portal is to track our budget utilization. Dr. Arukoyo mentioned earlier on that one of the ways to be efficient, even in our personal life, in our personal business, is for you to have a snapshot on a daily basis. You can know where you are from your plan. You can know how much you have implemented. You can know how much that is left to be implemented. That will enable you to be able to be efficient, know how resources is being disbursed, know where you are having a weak link, and know how to strengthen that. And that's the essence of this dashboard.
Reacting to the effort of Alliance for a Green Revolution in Africa and Budget Nigeria in facilitating and developing the dashboard, the Permanent Secretary, Federal Ministry of Agriculture and Rural Development, Ernest Afolabi Omahihe, who was represented by the Director of Planning and Policy Coordination, Ibrahim Bello, appreciated them and expressed optimism over the benefits the ministry will derive from the use of the dashboard.
The ministry's sectoral policies, programs, and projects are essentially being facilitated by the technical departments, units, parastatals, and agencies. The ministry will effectively apply this e-fiscal performance portal in reporting sectors' achievements to reflect progress in the Nigerian agricultural sector.
The Federal Ministry of Agriculture and Rural Development recently trained over 300 people living with disability on climate change mitigation strategies to enable them overcome the challenges posed by climate change in the agricultural sector. Speaking during the workshop, the Permanent Secretary of the Ministry, Ernest Afolabi Omahihe, who was represented by the Director Agri-Extension Services, Frank Sotumari Kudla, stated that people living with disabilities are the most vulnerable in the society, and the ministry is committed to supporting them in building their skills to cope with the effect of climate change.
Impacts of climate change, such as drought, floods, extreme weather events, reduce food and water security, loss of agricultural land that affect men and women differently. Those with disabilities are the most vulnerable group. The Federal Ministry of Agriculture and Rural Development is committed to social economic empowerment of people with disabilities and women in the sector through national gender policy in agriculture.
Also speaking at the occasion, the national president of the Joint Association of Persons Living with Disabilities appreciated the effort made by the ministry to support them and urged other ministries to take a cue from the Agric Ministry.
The permanent secretary, really, the disabled community of Nigeria really commend the effort of Federal Ministry of Agri. We really appreciate, and we are urging other Federal Ministry of Nigeria to quickly copy what the Federal Ministry of Agri is doing, so that the Nigeria in generally respect what they sign in the Convention of Right of Persons with Disability.
Apart from the training of the beneficiaries on climate change mitigation and adaptation strategies, the ministry also presented Clean Stove and the gender policy document to each of the people living with disabilities who participated in the workshop. For this, they were grateful.
I appreciate them. I appreciate Ministry of Agriculture. I appreciate the organizers. I appreciate the Ministry of Education. If all the ministries are doing like this, this is the true worship I have been preaching.
The Federal Ministry of Agriculture and Rural Development recently marked the World Animal Day with an event as it joined the rest of the world in the celebration of this special day. What is the significance of the day and what are the opportunities in animal husbandry? How do we ensure conservation of animal species in a sustainable manner that would protect the ecosystem amidst climate change? Answers to these questions and more will come your way in our next segment, just as we explore what the ministry is doing to support animal production in Nigeria. Keep watching.
World Animal Day is celebrated worldwide on the 4th of October every year. It is a day set aside to create awareness and care for animals. The theme for this year's celebration is A Shared Planet. However, the theme was modified in Nigeria and adopted as Good Animal Husbandry Practice is Climate Smart. This is to meet the peculiarity of the country. The event to mark the World Animal Day was organized by the Federal Ministry of Agriculture and Rural Development. In attendance were the Honorable Minister of State, Federal Ministry of Agriculture and Rural Development, Permanent Secretary and Directors in the Ministry, Registrar of Nigerian Institute of Animal Science, representatives of different animal farmers and marketers association alongside other stakeholders. This year is the first that Nigeria is formally joining the rest of the world in celebrating the World Animal Day because of the importance of animals. This much was stated by the Minister of State for Agriculture as well as the Director, Animal Husbandry Services.
The commemoration of the World Animal Days remind all to examine the current animal husbandry practice in relation to the environment in the ever-changing climate situation with the view to adapting and mitigating the effects for increased profits in livestock businesses.
The mission of the World Animal Day and the World Farm Animal Day is to raise awareness on the need for sustainable and profitable animal production. Also, the importance of animal protein in our nutrition and in food security and nutrition security.
Shedding more light on the World Animal Day celebration, The Permanent Secretary, Federal Ministry of Agriculture and Rural Development, Ernest Afolabi Umahihe, in an interview with journalists, stated that the day is very important due to the contribution of animals to human existence.
The value of the livestock sector alone is over 31 trillion naira to the economy. And going forward, you should know what the significance of animal has been to the world. In fact, when you hear no farmer, no nation, you can also say no animal, no nation. Because of the varied advantages of having animals as companion, as protein, as employment generation.
Director, Animal Husbandry Services, Winish Laisholari, explains the significance of the theme.
We all know that we cannot do without the animal. No matter how we want to eliminate them, while some people are talking about artificial meat, whatever it is, we can't do without the animals. If the animals are not in our ecosystem, this ecosystem will not be as it is. And so today we are celebrating the animal. Let's put it that way. We are drawing attention that we should care for them. That good animal husbandry practices will translate to a lot of things. Disease prevention, care for the environment, increased production, increased wealth, economic growth for the country, job creation, and so many other benefits.
During the World Animal Day event, various animal associations displayed their various animals. One such animal is the snail, which was displayed at the event. The managing director of Kingston Integrated Farmers and members of Federation of Snail Farmers and Marketers Association of Nigeria shares his thoughts on the lucrative nature of snail farming in Nigeria.
Let's do a small mathematics here. You have 1,000 snails in your farm. Now, before they become their age is 1 year old in your farm, they must have reproduced to millions of it. And before you even start to sell this jumbo size that I carry here, you have various sizes ranging from baby snail to grower snail to point of lay to table size, then come to jumbo. You have all of this in your farm. They are all benefit. Once you get this one to the market, other ones are there. And the point of lay, the demand is very, very high because people are beginning to see the importance of snail as the benefit of it in our human body and the commercial aspect of it, making money with snail.
The Beekeepers Association was also present and had honey on display. The president of the association speaks on bee farming as a business venture.
When you look at beekeeping, you find out that beekeeping, with little capital, you can start your business. You don't even need to own a farm before you start beekeeping. And beekeeping, you don't need to feed the animals. All of that project, cattle, poultry, fishery, you start with big capital. But with beekeeping, with 50,000, you can start with. And at the same time, again, what you are going to realize, you see, in beekeeping, you can't compare with other projects because you don't need to feed the bees. They feed themselves, except on rare occasions that you feed the bees. They are the ones that feed themselves. So beekeeping is a very important avenue. It's a very lucrative business.
Wise Trust Farm in Kabusa area of Abuja was at the event. The farm is a member of the Rabbit Breeders Association of Abuja. Tayo Ayinla, Managing Director, speaks on the opportunities in rabbit farming in Nigeria as the animal is a source of pesticides, fertilizer, among other products.
Rabbit is very, very lucrative. One, the cost of production is very, very low compared to other livestock because they feed majorly on grass, a little on concentrated feed. Then in terms of profitability, there are a lot of value chain down rabbit farming. You can sell rabbit to another farmer as a breeding stock. You can sell rabbit for meat, that because of the health benefits of rabbit meat. You can sell rabbit on fur, that's the skin. The shoe I'm wearing is made from rabbit skin. You can sell their skin as a source of income. You can sell their poo. Their poo can be used for fertilizer, organic fertilizer. Their poo can be used for generation of gas that you can use to power your electricity, gas that you can use to power your cooking gas. Then their urine can be used also as folic fertilizer, and it can also be used as pesticide. So various ways that you can diversify the end product of rabbit farming.
One thing that was evident during the event and subsequent showcasing of animals was the need for proper training on best practices in animal husbandry. To achieve this, the ministry has built the capacity of some members of these associations who are grateful and ready to reciprocate the gesture by giving training to other individuals.
The ministry has been helpful to us. We want to thank the Director of Animal Husbandry, Mrs. Winley. We want to thank Director of Vet. We want to thank Director of FDA. They are very beneficial to us. Most times they have been inviting us for seminars, for training, and not even that. Most occasions we have been coming together to brainstorm.
The program is transforming agriculture in Nigeria. Earlier on in the program, we brought you highlights of the 2022 World Animal Day celebration in Nigeria, while showcasing the opportunities in animal husbandry. One animal that farmers have taken to rearing because of its meat is the grass cutter. Our crew visited Favor Grass Cutter Farm in Abuja, where this animal is being reared for commercial purposes. Let's see what we got.
The grass cutter, also known as the greater cane rat, is one of two species of cane rats, a small family of African rodents. Grass cutter lives by reed bed and riverbank in sub-Saharan Africa. It is also now reared as a domestic animal in a confined environment. This is Favor Grass Cutter Farm located in Road 2, Zone C of Bimuko community in Duse area of Abuja. There are over 500 grass cutters in this farm.
You select the kind of grass.
The chairman and chief executive officer of the Favor Grass Cutter Farm, Alhassan Akogu Hezekiah, who also collaborates with the Federal Ministry of Agriculture in training farmers, came across grass cutter farming online in 2014. He went into it without training. However, he failed in that first attempt. Notwithstanding, he went for training, and what he learned from the training has made him a successful grass cutter farmer.
I have to leave Abuja to Ogun State, Sagwater. We call the man Mr. Abdulaziz. The name of his farm is Dice Snail and Grass Cutter Farm. I prepared myself for 3 days to Ogun State, and then I learned practical training right in his farm. Then I came back with some of the animal, and that's where the journey began. And from that day, I have I've never looked back.
After acquiring training in grass cutter farming, the next step was to build the cages. The cages are made of cement blocks, concrete and irons with ventilation opening. It can also be made of wood for those living in rented apartments.
This is wooden cage. We call it temporary cage too. In case where you are living is not your permanent house, you can't go and build that type of cage we build here with blocks and concrete. So this one is mobile. You are going to another place, you can take it along.
According to Hezekiah, the feeding of grass cutter is cheaper than any other animal as it feeds mostly on grasses and other cheap and available supplements.
What they eat more is corn. They eat corn a lot. They eat ugu stem a lot. Pineapple kern, the back of watermelon. In fact, grass cutter is a wonderful farming. You know why I'm saying this? You can never be under pressure. Say, what will I use to feed them? Wherever you find yourself at the time, you look around, there must be something to pick up to go and give your grass cutter to eat at home. That is the beauty about their feeding.
Mr. Hezekiah and his wife are both into grass cutting farming and testify that the business is viable and profitable.
6 females can pay graduate a year. Why am I saying this? 1 female give birth to us in a year. 1 female give birth to us in a year. Like the one you stand right by you is gave birth to 5. 4 female, 1 male. And the combination of the female, of the colony, we call it colony, is 5. 2 male, 3 female to start with. Now only this one has given you a colony. Do you know how much you sell colony now? It's 150,000. And it's not something that you are struggling to sell.
I decided to join my husband in farming. And since then, the farming work has been a great benefit to the family. Even, let me say, it really gives food to the family. In terms of paying the children's school fees and do some other things in the family, when I look at what is coming out from the farm, I decided not to look for work anywhere. And even right now, if we were to be given any job, either government or private sectors, we cannot leave this one and go there, because what is coming in, I saw that what is coming in is even more than what they are paying me. Compared, I think you heard about the colony, how much they are selling it, and there is not even enough that we can supply to people. So I decided to say, because in Nigeria sector, people, when you talk about farming, it's as if you are committing offense. So it's not everybody that can do it.
The grass cutter is high in demand across the country, and as such, marketing and sales is often not a challenge.
The area that's supposed to be a major market, like the hotel, eatery, all these restaurants, they need it. But the one we have now is not even enough for individual. So by the time you went out, even yesterday when we were in the animal day celebration, the man that is supplying snails, he came to me that so hotel want it. I said, I can't go and put myself under pressure there, because I'm working hard to expand so that I can meet up the demand, bringing up in many people so that we can do it. People can start ordering it like chicken. When, like in around this here now, imagine only me. How many can I produce? So grass cutter market now is, let me say, it's a miracle that is still waiting for the manifestation. We are still waiting for guys to key in so that we can meet up the demand. How to sell grass cutter now is not a problem. The problem is how to meet the demand.
The World Animal Day 2022 is the maiden edition in Nigeria and has made an impact in the lives of animal farmers. For the Rabbit Breeders Association of Abuja, the World Animal Day provided an opportunity for them to showcase rabbit farming and to make recommendations for government. Let us hear from them in our next segment, Farmers Speak.
The way the government can intervene for us is first and foremost to escalate what we are doing. So many people are not aware of rabbit farming. So we need the government machinery through what we are doing today, the ONT and any other media, to escalate what we are doing. We need the support of the government in the area of processing, building a processing plant, and in also building the processing plant for rabbit meat, rabbit skin, and rabbit fur. We also need the help of the government in expanding what we are doing. That is to say, to increase our capacity. But if we are going to feed the processing factory, we need to increase the number of rabbit meat that we can supply to them.
Animal husbandry is the way to go, to see to it that the ecosystem is preserved while ensuring the availability of animals for nutrition, job, and wealth creation. This is where we draw the curtain tonight on the program. Have a great weekend and bye for now.